I really hope I just don't disappear after this video for like months and months. Oh yes. Hello strangers, I'm Rachel Renner and this is my wrap up for since December till now. So basically I'm just going to talk about the few books I read since I last did a proper wrap up. I'm discarding the books that I read for the BookTubeathon. I'm going to do a separate wrap up for them because I've got like 23 books on this already without them, so we'll just like make sure our videos. Okay? Let's get into it. Starting in December 2016, this is what I read. The first two books are books that I did talk about in my November wrap up, but oh well. The first book I finished reading in December was I'll Be Home for Christmas by various authors. I read this book, so I'll link down below because I got an ARC for it, of it. Basically this is an anthology about home and Christmas and homelessness. It was written to support, I forget which, but it was like for a homeless charity, and it was just to like raise awareness about homelessness at Christmas time, I guess. Some of the stories were really good, some of them were really hit and miss. Like I did feel like there was a lot of, some of the stories didn't really go together, and some of the stories I just didn't like at all. But like I said, I did a review like discussing all the stories individually and my generally thoughts of this anthology, so I'll just like leave that there if you're really interested in my opinion. The second book I finished listening to was 6-4 by Hindu Yukiyami. That's not right. So I'm trying like to visualize it in my head how to say it. Hindu Yukiyama. I am sorry. So this is a Japanese novel and I did a review on it, and obviously it's a Japanese novel, so this is a translation. I found it kind of interesting. It's a very long book to get into. I listened to it on audiobook. I didn't really like the audiobook narrator, so I would probably recommend reading this book over listening to it if you can. I think that would have worked better for me, but I still really enjoyed it, so I would recommend it still. By Sesame, like I said, review. I then read all the Scott Pilgrim books, which are here. I had watched the movie Scott Pilgrim vs. the Wild and I really loved it, so, and I really loved the comics. There was differences, but they were still really entertainment, and Bryan is just like really funny and the art was really good. I read it in the coloured version, like the coloured version, which I liked. It was more expensive, but I liked it. Pay the money for colour. Next, I read a weird little book called When I Was 5 I Killed Myself by Buten. Literally, mainly bought this because it's called When I Was 5 I Killed Myself. I'm like, what are you on about? Basically this boy gets sent to this home and like kind of hinted he's autistic. I don't know. He's neo-atypical, you know, he's neo-diverted, you know, he's not neotypical, basically. Basically, it's debated about whether he's autistic or not, and like there's like arguments for and against, and the writer says he's not or something, I forget. Basically, this is like, it's written by an American writer, but like this is a big hit in fans. Like apparently this is really well known in fans. If you're French, feel free to confirm or deny this. I actually do know a French person I could ask, but I feel like this is a really weird book to bring up to somebody randomly. Hey, did you ever hear about When I Was 5 I Killed Myself by Howard Buten? He's also a clown. He's a professional clown, the author. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, so I guess I must have liked it. It gives no answers. I then read Wonderful Kind of Tragic by Eric Landstrom. This is a book about a girl with bipolar disorder. I thought it was actually good at showing the disorder, and she's not the only person with the disorder in the book, which I thought was a really good aspect of actually showing what bipolar disorder was like for different people, you know, and not just stereotyping the disorder, which helps a lot when you have more than one person, they have different symptoms and stuff. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. There's a review in this going into like proper thoughts and stuff. There was a weird aspect The main character describes herself as having brown hair, blue eyes, and freckles. Apparently that makes her a mutant. Which is really baffling for someone who's Scottish and lives in a country where most people are blue-eyed, have brown hair, and are freakishly pale. Obviously, not all of us, but like, statistically, most of us. Like, blue eyes are the dominant colour in Scotland. Obviously, that doesn't mean it's a dominant gene, it's just like most people have blue eyes in Scotland. I then read The Luckiest Girls Alive by Jessica Knoll. I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It deals with a lot. There's like a few trigger warnings in this book. I didn't do a review of this one, so I can't list them all. And I don't know, I feel weird if I should list them all in a video or not. A wrap up or not. If you have an opinion, comment down below if you think I should list the trigger warnings in the actual video. But like, it did deal with a lot, but I really enjoyed it. And Jessica Knoll was actually like, talking from some of her own experience, and apparently that you could really tell that from other people who had went through that experience. It's basically the kind of motif is like, this woman had something really bad happen when she was at high school, and that's kind of like, she spent her whole adult life trying to escape it, but they're making a documentary about the bad thing that happened, and she get asked if she wants to take part. I don't think it's revealed at the start of the novel what it is, it gets into, it's just hinted at for a while. But I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed listening to the audiobook of this, so I would recommend both. A book I would not recommend is The Ministress by Jessica Buten. Obviously, this book was hyped to the T. Everyone was talking about this book for a little while, but I don't know why, really. Yes, the cover's really pretty, but this book was like hyped from the publishing world before it had the pretty cover, and I don't know why. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. I really didn't like this book. I did a review of it. I mean, there was some interesting and original-ish ideas. It was set in Amsterdam, and the miniaturist aspect of the plot was really good, but that's not really what the book was about. And I don't like the fact that it's not based on a real person, but it takes the names of real historical people and just ignores their life, and I don't like that. I think it's kind of disrespectful, even. I say that like I really care, but I just generally don't like it because I think it's weird to do. Obviously, I'd be dead if someone did this, but if someone took my name and then wrote a character that was completely different from me while having like one shared note about me, I'd be like, weird. Like, why are you doing that? No. Basically, I shouldn't have looked up the real person before I finished reading this novel. I listened to Spring Break by Barbara Steiner, and this is a point horror, and it's one of the worst of point horrors. I was gonna do like a video reaction thing on this, and I might still do it because like I wrote a script, but it got ridiculously long because there was a lot of stuff in this. So if you're interested, feel free to try and motivate me to actually make that video. I will share this beautiful little tablet. One of the characters is called Val, and one of the lines is like, you know, Val, as in the movie star, the new Batman. And you gotta understand, this book came out in '96. George Clooney had already been announced as a new Batman. So this book was out of date when it was published, and that is beautiful to me. Val Kilmer sucks. I also listened to BBC's production of Stardust by Neil Gaiman. Like I say, I usually do reviews of all the British books I read. I haven't did a review of this one because like I feel like I haven't actually read the book because it was like a production, so I don't know what they've changed for the production to make it work, because it was like made to be listened to on radio and I just like listened to it as though it was an audiobook, but I don't know the difference. So I mean, it was enjoyable for like an hour or so. I forget how long it was, but like, you know, it was good. It was better than the movie. I don't know what to say. It was good. It was Neil Gaiman. I then read a book called A Girl Called Owl by Amy Wilston. I gave this like 3 out of 5 stars. I did a review of this book because it's British and net gallery. It was an interesting idea, but also completely didn't work. Like, there was a few weird mythology going on here, and I felt like the main character, well written for her age group, the story would have suited an older character. I then listened to Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. I give this 4 out of 5 stars. While kind of different from A Girl on the Train, I feel like you still have her view of writing, and I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was good. It was as good as A Girl on the Train, it was just different. I know some people didn't like it because of how different it was from A Girl on the Train, but I liked it. So, there. I then listened to Smoke Gets in Your Eyes and Other Lessons from the Crematory. This is by Caitlin Doggerty, and she's got a YouTube channel called Ask a Mortician, and her videos are really entertaining and informative about death. And she just like talks about death and how she feels that modern society as a whole has an unhealthy relationship with death and why it would benefit us to change this. And also she just answers like questions that you might have about deeper conversation and like body drawing. You know, the fun things. I'll link her channel down below, but I really like this book. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. I don't think I did, but I'm just saying it's 5 out of 5 stars now. Would recommend. And before the BookTubeathon, I finished reading The Upstairs Room by Kate Murray Brown. I give this book out 4 out of 5 stars, and there's a review down below because I get it for review and it's British, so, you know, stuff. Basically, this family move into a haunted house and they have a lodger as well, and spooky ghost thing happens, but it's actually more about their relationships with each other and their life choices and what led them to that point and how they cope with the ghost a little bit. It's not really a haunting because it doesn't really get into the whys or ifs, and there's not like a resolution for that part of the story, but it's interesting and I liked it. It's kind of ghost, but it's more character study. Would recommend. There's a review. So that's everything I read while I was gone. I will see you weirdos next time, where I will be doing another disappearing act. Farewell. Nobody asks me what I read last time. Jessica, what the hell's your name? Have they got the same last name? No. Go away. I hope Stella gets you in the night. I will put you on the YouTube for spite. Did you actually want anything?
No, just to annoy you.